Hello guys and welcome to another very exciting Projection 3D video tutorial. Today we'll create this beautiful post-apocalyptic animation. We will use this picture from the recently released excellent RPG game Wasteland 3. So if you're ready, get yourselves comfortable and let's get started. Alright, first of all let's drag our image to the composition window. Then click Find Camera and match it. Then I'm going to enable the right side of the grid and disable the back side. I'll show hidden layers, disable scaling on all axes, and reduce the grid along the axis. Double click camera and let's select 20mm preset. Now let's adjust the camera a little more. Let's scale along Y and Z. It is crucial that both vertical and horizontal lines of the grid match the lines on the image. If for some reason some of you guys don't understand what's going on, please watch the tutorial we did on camera matching first. Okay, I think this is probably the best angle. Look at the lines, they all seem to cover the image correctly. Good. Now I'll hide the grid, select both camera and image, and create projection. Click Recompose and make 4 copies. Great, let's do the modeling. Double click Projection Scene 4. Alright, we need to do all those buildings. Let's start from the left side. So I'll disable Helper Grid, move it out of the way, uncheck all sides of the grid except for the bottom, and click OK. So we did a ground plane using the helper grid properties. Now let's stretch it so that it covers the entire image. Okay, good. As you already know, we need to generate position for our buildings. So now head over to Tools, Generate Plane from Points, open Anchor Point Editor and check Reposition Anchor Point. Move Anchor Point to the bottom right corner. As you can see, the plane is now in the correct position. Now we need to rotate it 90 degrees. So click R and set Y to -90. Now stretch the plane along the Y to cover the building. Well done. Now let's draw a mask over that house. Great, we did it. Let's move on to the next one. Now I'm going to generate second position point. To create a plane, I'll select both position points. Move it back a little. And fix its position via the Anchor Point Editor. Great, now it's right where we need it to be. Stretch it along Y to cover the buildings. Awesome, now we can do the masking. Well done. Now I'll duplicate the plane and delete the mask. I'll draw a new mask over the second building. Great, we now have the facade. So let's see. Okay, good. Let's do the rest of the houses. Duplicate this facade layer and move it back. It should cover the backside of the structure we're working on. Okay, that's enough. Now hide this eyeball. It'll let you work faster and fix the mask. Like this. So we now have both sides of the house. So select both of them and open Mask Modeler. Click Create Surface. And it looks like our building is ready. You can now delete the backside part. We no longer see it anyway. Put the front part under the parts on the side. Now let's do the second building using the same technique. I'll duplicate this one, move it back, then I'll fix the mask. Good. Now I'm going to select both parts and click Create Surface. Great, we did it. Delete the backside, and let's tidy up a bit. Place the front parts on top of the side ones. Select both parts of this building and put them together. Do the same with this one as well. Well done. We already did 2 houses, you guys. Now let's continue and do the third building. Generate position for it. Then create a plane. Fix it via anchor point editor. Then press R and rotate it 90 degrees along Y. Set -90. Then stretch it to cover the entire building. It looks like we need to rotate it 1 degree along the Z. Yes, that's better. Now we just need to draw a mask. Great. Just like before, duplicate the facade layer and move it back. Fix the mask. Select both layers. And click Create Surface. Okay, now delete the backside. Select these two and group them together. Well done. Let's move on to the one over there in the back. Alright, so I'll select bottom plane and generate position. Somewhere here maybe. Then I'm going to create a plane on that position. Fix it with anchor point editor and rotate it to -90 degrees. Cool. I'll stretch the plane and rotate it a little bit along Z. Also, I'll stretch the plane along Y. And then I'll mask it. Just like before, I'll duplicate the layer and move it back. Then select both and click Create Surface. Great. Now let's group those. Okay, let's see what's left. Let's create the top of this building here. Generate position. Create a plane. Reposition anchor point. Cool. Now press R and rotate it along the X. Now move it back a little. Stretch it. And then mask it. Well done. Let's tidy up. Looks like we did the entire front row on the left. Let's check all of our houses. Yes, that's good work. Now let's create a temporary camera animation to test our scene. Add key on the position, move it to the 4th second and create some movement using the camera tool. Something like this. Okay, let's pre-render and see. As you can see, it all moves pretty realistically. And that's just what we need. Okay, and so now let's create the back row. To do that, select this building, head over to Generate Plane from Bounding Box, and choose Top. Great, now we can generate position on the top of the building. So let's do that. This position will help us create the building behind. Alright, create a plane and reposition anchor point. Then press R and rotate -90 degrees. So I'll fix it a little bit more. Okay, now move it a little bit to the back to make space between buildings. Let's see how it looks from the top view. Move it back a little bit more. This should do it. Now move it down and stretch it to cover the entire row. Great. Now we can mask it. Leave the last one, it's a bit extended in the front and not in the same plane as the rest. Okay. Now we should do the top parts of the houses. So I'll generate position for the top of that building there. Then I'll create a plane on that position and reposition it via the anchor point editor. Then copy this layer's orientation and paste it here. Well done. Let's rotate it 90 degrees. Not like that. Okay, doesn't matter. I'll just do it like this. And squeeze. All right, let's mask. Great. Move on to the next one. Generate position like we did it before. Right here. Create a plane and reposition. Now copy the previous layer's orientation and paste it to the new one. And then I'll squeeze the plane. Let's also rotate it in this direction. Okay, great. Now I'll draw a mask. Cool. Those are now ready. Okay, what's next? All right, let's do those things on top of the houses. So generate position and add cube primitive. And then reposition using anchor point editor. Okay, disable scale on all axes and scale it along Z. As you can see, our orientation is a little bit wrong, so I'll press R to correct it. Great, now back to scaling. Reduce along X like this, and also along the Y. Excellent. Now we can delete this layer. We only needed it to generate position. Right, let's see. Move down this one. Select and group these two layers. Great. This object should be next to the building it's on. Next one. Let's generate position for that house in the distance there. And then create a plane and reposition. And then rotate it minus 90 degrees. Squeeze it. Move it forward. And down. Okay, it's done. We can now draw a mask. Duplicate it. And move it back. Now select both and create surface using the mask modeler. Awesome. Delete this one. Then group these two. Well done. The left side of the scene is now complete. Let's pre-render and see what it looks like. Looks very nice. Since the left part is complete, let's move on to the right side. Select the bottom layer and generate position. First position point, and the second one. Okay, now select both points and create a plane. Reposition it with anchor point editor. Then move it back. And stretch it. Okay, let's draw a mask now. We should mask these destruction elements in order to achieve maximum realism. Okay, let's not waste time and create the top of the house. Create a plane on the generated position, reposition it, then press R, rotate the plane 90 degrees along X. Now let's check it from the custom view. Looks like we need to tilt it back a little bit more. Looks good now. Also move it a little to the back from this angle here. Okay, we can mask it now. Now let's see. Cool, let's continue. Let's leave the ruined building for now and move on to the third one. So, generate position, create a plane on that position. You know what? Let's do something different here. Press Ctrl Z and then go back and generate the second position. Right over here. Select both points and create a plane. Move anchor point to the upper left corner. Good. Now reduce the plane. And tilt it so it's in the right place. Okay, let's see. Looks like we need to move it a little bit to the left. Good. Now it's okay. And also stretch it. and draw a mask. Well done! This one's also ready. Let's move on to the next one. Select the bottom layer and generate position. The second position is already there, so select both and create a plane. Reposition it, and then mask it. Okay, now check if everything is okay. Let's fix it here a little bit. Okay, great. Now duplicate this layer. Uncheck reposition anchor point and move anchor point to see how much back we should move this layer. Now move it back. Okay, that's enough. Fix the mask. Let's check it from the top view. Looks like we need to move it back a little bit more. Like so. Okay, let's fix the mask again. Disable this eyeball. It'll let you work faster. Great. Now we need to create the surface using Mask Modeler. To do that, select both layers. Delete this one. Now we need to do this tall building behind. So to do that, let's first generate a position for it. And then create a plane on that position. Mark reposition anchor point and also reposition the plane. Good, now move it back. To fix orientation, copy orientation of this layer and paste it on the plane. Then stretch it. Okay, we can draw a mask now. Okay, great. Now let's head to the side. To create a side part, we need to generate new position. Then create a plane on that position. And then reposition with anchor point editor. Good. Stretch it to cover this side of the house and tilt it back a little bit. Let's see. It's pretty okay, but let's move it down a little bit more. Well, looks like this one's also ready. Let's do the next one. Select bottom layer and generate position here. Create a plane, reposition it. Good. Now press R to open orientation and rotate it 90 degrees. Looks like we need to turn it back some more. I think I'll set it to 87. Okay, now as you can see, we need to stretch it. And also tilt it like this. Okay, that's great. Let's draw a mask now. Okay guys, now duplicate this thing here and move the new one back. Good. Then fix the mask. Now select both parts and create surface using Mask Modeler. Very nice. I'll get rid of this one and enable this. Now create the rest of the building. Let's use generate plane from bounding box option. So choose top. As you can see, we've created a plane on the top of the building. So let's move it back like this, and also in this direction. And let's not forget to uncheck reposition anchor point and move it here. Let's tilt the plane and check it over from the custom view. Yes, everything is all right. Let's stretch it and then draw a mask. Let's see. To make it visible, press T and set opacity to 100. Well done! We've finished the top of the house, and now let's get to the side part. Now let's generate the position for it really quickly. And create a plane, mark reposition anchor point again, move it to the upper left corner. That's just great. The only thing we need to do now is to move it back a little, and also stretch it. Now let's select all parts of the building and put them together. Great, that's finished. Let's do the next one. Select bottom plane and generate position for the farthest building. Also generate second position. Select both points and create a plane using generate plane from points. Move anchor point over here. And now let's rotate it to give it the right tilt. Now the facade part is ready, so you just duplicate it and rotate it about 90 degrees. Good. Now stretch it to the right. Squeeze it down. And also this one. Well done. We're almost finished the modeling. Only this ruined building remains. Now close mask modeler, we don't need it anymore. Select the facade layer. We should generate position here. Let's do that. And then as usual, create a plane and reposition anchor point. Okay, now we should tilt it along the X. So press R to do that. Set to 85. Good. Move it back. And a little over to the left. Cool. Now let's mask it. Follow the outline of the ruined roof. Okay. Now find and select the side of the tall building and generate position here. Then create a plane and reposition it with anchor point editor. Okay, to tilt it quicker, copy orientation of the previously created layer and paste it to the plane. Maybe increase inclination degree up to 88. Yes, that's better. Now move it to the left. Great. Now let's draw the mask. Okay, good. Now I'll just move it forward 4 seconds to make sure that the plane completely covers the top of the house. We'll see it gradually appear in the animation. Maybe just fix it here. Well done, guys. Now let's just do the inner part. To do that, duplicate this layer, delete the mask, move it down, then left. Okay, just draw a rough one. No need to be precise here. Great. Now find and select the facade layer. and generate position here. Create a plane. Now press R and rotate 90 degrees along Y. Then reposition it. Now we need to move it down and stretch to cover the inside of the building. Also squeeze it horizontally and move it back. Okay, great. Now draw a mask. Go to the end and check it. Let's fix it here. And also here. Alright guys, we're done modeling. Now we just need to organize our project. Close Anchor Point Editor. Head over to Main Composition and double-click Projection Scene 1. Right-click, go to Composition Settings, and Increase Shadow Map Resolution. Open all projection scenes and correct the sequence. Increase shadow map resolution in all the scenes. That's very good. Now let's move objects to their projection scenes. This is the closest building, so we should move it to projection scene 1. Okay, let's move on. We should move these sort of boxes on top of the second building to projection scene 1. We should also move the closest building on the right to projection scene 1. The top of the first building and the second building should go to projection scene 2. Good, let's see. Okay, great. Let's continue. Oh, this one goes to projection scene 1. Okay, next one. Move these 4 objects to projection scene 2. The tall house also goes to projection scene 2. Let's check it again. Now let's replace projection image. Click replace and pick abandoned city 2. Great. Now let's pre-render and see if everything is in the correct order. Looks like we need to fix this ruined house here. It looks a little wrong in the motion. Okay, go to projection scene 2. Move this part a little bit forward. And reduce the mask like this. Okay, let's see it again. Yes, now it looks fine. Let's continue. Move this building to projection scene 3. And move these two to projection scene 3 also. Good, let's check it. Replace projection image and projection scene 3. That will be abandoned city 3. That's great. And also replace projection image and projection scene 4. Okay, let's pre-render again. As you can see, everything moves properly and the scene looks pretty cool. That's great. Now it's time to add an armored vehicle to the scene. Head over to File, Import Image, and import that vehicle. Double click it and fix anchor point like this. Go back to the main comp, select the vehicle, press B, and move it forward along the Z. Then press R and set X rotation to -90. Good. Now press S to scale the image. Great. Now we need to add the wheel traces in the snow. Go to the project window, open Projection 3D folder, and duplicate Projection Scene 4. Drag Projection Scene 5 to the comp window, then click Replace Projection Image button and select Abandoned City 5. Great. Now we have our traces. Let's fix the position of our vehicle. Move it forward along Z, and then move it left along the X, and maybe reduce the scale to 90. That's great. Now let's add the headlights. Import the image called lights. Double click it and fix the anchor point. Okay. Now press R to rotate it -90 degrees along the X. Change blending mode to screen and scale it. Cool. Now press B to fix position. Okay, that's done. Now the headlights look cool. Now we should also link the headlights with the vehicle. And also maybe reduce this element a little bit more. Alright, let's animate it. Add key on position. Go to the 4th second and move it forward along the Z. And also a little to the left. That's good. We also need to animate the car traces. To do that, select Projection Scene 5 and mask the traces. Click MM to open mask parameters and add key on the mask path. Move the bottom line of the mask closer to the vehicle. Go to the 4th second and make the mask follow the vehicle. Like this. Now check if everything is alright. Yes, everything seems to be in order. Let's pre-render and see what we've got. I think we need to push the lights a little bit back. Let's do that. Great. Pre-render again. Yep, looks very nice. But let's do it better. Let's add the light that will reflect from the ground. To do that, create a plane primitive. Open Material Options and enable Accept Lights. Then press S and scale the plane. Change blending mode to Color Dodge. Now right-click and create a light. Choose Spot for the light type and hit OK. Copy vehicle position and paste it on the light. Then press P and delete keys. Great, now fix the point of interest. Disable the headlights layer so that it's not in the way. And now let's adjust the spotlight parameters. Increase cone angle to about 70. And change the light color to orange. Very well. Switch to left view. Fix the point of interest. Also raise the light source. It should be slightly lighter than the ground plane. Great. Now get back to active view. As you can see, the light is already reflected on the ground. See? Let's add some intensity. Great. Now let's enable headlights. Place headlights layer under the light source. And now slightly adjust the position of the light. See? Looks much better now. You can give it more red tint if you want to. Excellent. Okay, let's reduce the duration to 4 seconds. Good. Now we need to animate the light source so that it follows the vehicle. I'll add a key and also click UU and add key on the point of interest. Go to the end of the animation, then switch to left view. Now if we move the light source forward, it will come down. This way, we'll move the source forward using the right arrow on the keyboard. Great. Now let's switch to active view and see. Let's pre-render and see. Yes, looks great. I like it. Also, I think that the vehicle should have a shadow. So to add the shadow, go to Effect, Perspective, and choose Drop Shadow. Add distance, softness. Well, just play with the settings to find the best results for your personal liking. Okay, this pretty much suits me. Now we're done with the car, and now we can make it snow. So create a new solid. Go to Effect, Simulation, CC Particle World. Set longevity value to 4 seconds or more. Since the duration of our animation is 4 seconds, we should make it so that the particles don't disappear after the first second. So open Producer tab and switch to left view. We need a particle source above the camera. So we must reduce position Y. Great. Go back to active view. Now look, when I move the time initiator forward, particles begin to fall from the sky. Also, adjust source position along the X. Now let's increase the radius on all the axes. Great. Okay guys, now open Physics tab and in Animation type, choose Direction Axis. Reduce extra angle. Set it to about 270. Open Direction Axis tab, set Y to 0, and X to 1. Well done. Now let's see how it moves. Yeah, that's great. Now we need to show the particles where the ground is, so that they disappear when they reach the ground. So open the Floor tab and change Particle Visibility to Above Floor. That's great. Let's switch to left view now. And as you can see, the floor position is a little bit wrong, so let's fix it. Okay, let's keep going. Reduce gravity value to 0.01. Reduce velocity. Great. Go to Particle tab. Change particle type to Faded Sphere. Then change birth color to white. And take death color from here. Okay, now reduce birth size to 0.160 and death size to 0.090. Great. Now we just need to add some more particles. So set birth rate to 5. Actually, it'll look better with 10. Great, we're almost done. Now to make it start snowing from the first second, drag the layer back in the timeline. Move it back a little bit more and fix the duration. Okay, now pre-render. I think it looks very nice. You can also add resistance to reduce the speed of the snow. And let's also reduce the size of the particles. We'll set it to 0.12. Let's see again. Okay, I think it's ready. Let's switch to full screen and enjoy the beautiful view. Alright guys, that's all for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed watching it and that it was helpful for you and that it helped you improve your skills even more. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.